It feels like everyone these days is a financial expert. All you have to do is go on YouTube and search stocks or investing, and you will see dozens of YouTube channels promoting all kinds of content, some good, some bad, and some with questionable ethics. The past 12 months have been nothing short of crazy, and we figured it's time we discussed a worrying new trend which we started to notice. We are calling this the YOLO Effect. Hi, I'm your host Zari, and welcome to an Andrew and Zari video. 2020 was one of the weirdest years. We've been in the middle of a health crisis, economies around the world are facing extreme financial strain, individuals have lost jobs, small businesses are on the verge of collapse, but something unusual has taken place, and a lot of us are a part of it. The stock market had one of the most volatile and aggressive expansive phases we've seen in recent history. In today's video, we're going to outline a few key points that we believe have caused this, what investors should be wary of, and what we see happening in 2021 and beyond. Now you may be asking yourself, what is the YOLO effect? If you're 30 years or younger, you're probably aware of what the word YOLO means. You only live once. Usually, this term is thrown around on memes of people doing ridiculous and sometimes dangerous things, often after indulging in a few too many drinks. Now, you wouldn't normally relate this to investing. However, the 2017 meteoric rise of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin saw people betting their entire portfolios on individual investments. This is where, for the first time on stock groups like Wall Street Bets, you started to see people post pictures of absurd trades and practically cementing their place in meme history. In 2020, we saw a similar phenomenon take place, but this time on a much larger scale and involving a lot of different investments, particularly in stocks of EV companies like Tesla, tech companies like Zoom, and SPACs. If you don't know what a SPAC is, please leave us a comment and we would be happy to explain it to you. With many individuals being confined to their homes as well as working from home, people started picking up other projects, such as renovations, new business ventures, and you guessed it, stock trading. People that have never traded before in their lives, diving headfirst into stocks in the hopes of making gains they heard their neighbor, friend, or colleague just made. And amazingly, a lot of these people did make money, even if they made investment decisions without an ounce of research. Because most of 2020 was just that kind of a year. The best of the best when it comes to a bull market, where it doesn't matter what you buy. As long as you buy, chances are you'll make some money. This culture of trying to match gains is the YOLO effect. People that have stable, balanced portfolios feeling the need to take on huge risks with their portfolios because, well, 10% doesn't seem good enough anymore, especially in an age where everyone is posting online and bragging about their returns. There are many factors that are contributing to these risky behaviors. They all pale in comparison to what we believe is the biggest contributing factor: YouTube. To know why, you have to understand that YouTube is a search engine, and it rewards the content producers who get the most likes and views on their videos. Let's look at a simplified breakdown of this. A YouTuber decides to make a video about Tesla because they're smart and they know people are searching the word Tesla a lot. The stock has recently moved upwards and has possibly one of the most charismatic CEOs in Elon Musk, who is constantly in the news cycle. YouTube promotes this video onto people's feed because people are searching the word Tesla. With a catchy title and a clickbaity thumbnail, this video becomes a hit. Other YouTubers look at the success of this YouTube video and say to themselves, hey, why don't we make a video on Tesla as well to bring more viewers onto our channel? So naturally, that's what they do. And because Tesla is changing the world, has a great story, they give it a buy rating. Their video also does great. And you get the picture. More content, more views, more videos on the same topic. But you know what's happening in the background during all this? The viewers of these videos are actual investors. Whether they have $100 or $1 million, they're looking to invest and they're looking for advice. When they hear this great story about Tesla while remembering their neighbor or friend having made a lot of money recently, they get influenced to buy into these recommended stocks. Buying pressure sees the stocks move up more, rewarding the people who bought in early, making everyone, especially the YouTubers, look like geniuses until we're at scary levels. Very recently, we've seen a trend of big YouTube names posting content like $1 million in so-and-so stock, or thumbnails like next 10x stock. When you see people doing this that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, you have to ask yourself, is this manipulation? Should we be worried? We also want to clarify here, we're not saying that all these YouTubers have bad intentions. Most of them provide great content, keep investors up to date about all the latest news, and frankly, are an inspiration to a brand new channel like ours. This is just a view of ours that we want to share with you. When you have a large audience, as some of these YouTubers do, we believe you have a moral responsibility to not mislead people into thinking that you somehow have all the answers. If you look back at history, every time there's been a great bull market, it has always been corrected at some point. Going back a couple of decades, you have the dot-com bubble. Very recently, we had the cannabis bubble that popped in Canada. And as mentioned earlier, Bitcoin getting ahead of itself in 2017. All of these have something in common. The market went on a rise and then crashed in the following years. We're not saying any of these investments we mentioned are bad investments, but sometimes when there's a frenzy to buy into stocks, valuations just don't make sense anymore. And these investments could take years to grow into these, let's call them, optimistic valuations. Are we at a point now where we should be worried? What can you do to take advantage of this situation? Or how should you be prepared for a downturn if that happens? In all honesty, your guess is as good as ours. We're not sure if we're going to see a correction this year. There are many positives going into this year. For starters, we have a vaccine. And even though a lot of the world is still facing the effects of the health situation we're in, it seems that we may finally have a path to recovery. The US election has led to a sweep by the Democratic Party, which could potentially lead to stimulus being distributed amongst individuals and businesses much faster and more efficiently than before. Companies have adapted. While yes, some have suffered, but from this could come companies that have evolved and can continue to push the boundaries of innovation even further. On the other hand, valuations are completely not in sync with revenue and earnings projections. Forward PE ratios are the highest they've been since the dot-com bubble in 2001. Money velocity has been severely affected. Individuals having lost jobs have less money to spend on goods and services. The businesses offering the goods and services are losing revenue because of shutdowns. The profits of these companies are dwindling and could potentially face losses, if not bankruptcies. And even though we have a vaccine, we have yet to see how well it works when distributed to the masses. Given all these considerations, there's a lot of hope, but a lot of uncertainty. Our personal opinion is that in a time like this, you should stick by a few rules. First and foremost, always remember, when you buy into a stock, you buy into a business. If you were buying a physical business like a grocery store or fitness gym, wouldn't you do your own research before purchasing into this business? Wouldn't you look at the financials of the business? Why should you treat stocks any different? Second, it would probably be wise to hold on to some cash as valuations in the market just don't make sense at the moment. And should there be a correction, if you have cash, you're ready to buy. We're no experts, and we certainly don't have a crystal ball. This is not meant to be taken as advice, but I'll leave you with a quote from Warren Buffett, who said, "The best thing that happens to us is when a great company gets into temporary trouble. We want to buy them when they're on the operating table." Our purpose of this video was to bring forward a different perspective when you look at videos on YouTube with thumbnails like 5x stock now. We don't want to discourage you from getting information from these videos. We want to encourage you to do your own research before you make your decisions. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please consider dropping a like and subscribing. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, please leave us a comment. We will read all of your comments. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next one.